So you're thinking about building a new construction home, but you're not entirely sure if it's right for you or what the process is. Well, we're gonna watch the house behind me be built from the ground up, so stick around because you don't want to miss it. Welcome to the Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric with the Pels Realty Group, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana, go ahead and subscribe so you can be updated with everything going on here in Central Indiana and the market. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. So right now we're in the Westmore community in Noblesville. That is the area our clients chose to build in. The new construction process can take anywhere from 5 to 9 months depending on the builder. Now that's going to be more your production builders. If it was a truly custom home, that's going to take a lot longer, anywhere from a year or two. Because with a custom home, you can choose pretty much anything and everything. Step number one of the new construction process is go ahead and drive through the community, especially on Saturdays and Sundays when people are out and about, and you can see if the community would be a good fit for you. After you've chosen what community and neighborhood you want to be in, you're going to do step number two, which is go to the sales office with your realtor and he's your representative. And so you can't add your realtor on the back end. It has to be one of the very first meetings, because that's what we did with our clients. We went to the sales office, got information, and we were with them through the whole process, every meeting. So at the sales office, the kind of information you'll want to get is the model homes, lot premiums, available lots too, because that's also very important. You don't want to see a lot that's already taken and you fall in love with it. And most of the time with the nicer, bigger lots, there's going to be a much higher premium. So for example, here in Westmore, one of the lots our clients was looking at, it was a bigger corner lot, and it was going to be about $35,000 for the lot premium. Well, luckily they decided to do a different lot and spend a heck of a lot less. And they'll also go over the different options you can add in the house as well. You'll also decide what upgrades you want at the sales office. And so that's going to bring us to step number three, signing the contract. And you'll sign the contract after you've chosen all your different options and you've agreed to the option. Now, one thing that you'll do probably multiple times before signing the contract is you'll build out and spec out the house that you want, and then you'll probably make revisions based on the price, because you can add all the things that you want and kind of work backwards from there depending on what your budget is. And so there will probably be multiple revisions before you get to that final dollar amount. And so after you sign the contract, you'll put down your earnest money deposit. Now that's going to be a non-refundable earnest money deposit, because that's going to protect the builder, especially when they're out materials when you actually start the construction of the home. You will most likely be able to get out of the contract if you want to walk for whatever reason, but just know, this is a massive disclaimer, that contract's going to be probably ironclad with that earnest money. So once you submit that earnest money, it's gone. It will go towards the closing of that home, but if you walk, it's gone. And that's not going to be a small amount. Typically the builder will require anywhere between 3 to 5% earnest money deposit. It just depends on the builder though. Moving on to step number four, and that's going to be going to the design center. The design center is there so you can pick out the color of your flooring, carpet, your roof color, siding color, and more. And once you're done at the design center, those choices are going to be locked in. And if you absolutely have to make a change, just be aware there could be a hefty fee to change that. Now again, that just depends on the builder, but it's something to be aware of. Step number five is going to be meeting with the construction manager. And so what that meeting is going to entail is going over the plans of your home, making sure the layout is correct, any upgrades that you guys have chosen are going to be placed correctly, and basically just setting expectations. You can ask any question that you have of that construction manager. The construction manager will also probably tell you that there will be problems and issues that come up during the construction process, because it is construction. Things will break and the things will be replaced. I know that sometimes windows, they can get broken because you're hauling a 2x4, you swing it and you shatter the window, but that's okay. They will replace it probably closer to the closing, because there's no point in replacing something that's already broken right after it breaks, especially when you have a ton of different trades like plumbing, electrical, HVAC coming through, doing their own thing. It's just a risk that it could break again. So they'll replace it just probably a little bit before closing. So that's another disclaimer about building. The construction manager will also confirm with you all the different selections that you made in the upgrades, making sure that they're correct, because when you start getting on the construction phase, it's harder to change stuff and correct things. It is possible, just a little more difficult, so the construction manager is just going to double check with you to make sure everything looks good in terms of the different upgrades that you've chosen. If they aren't good, then It's an easy thing to change because you haven't started construction yet. So right now the subs are working on the footers for the foundation, and as you can see, those footers are in the metal forms so they can harden up, and as soon as those footers are hardened up, they will take those forms away, and then they will start working on pouring the foundation. And this was done in the spring, and as you can see, it's a nice muddy mess right now. Now the foundation is poured, and once that dries, they will go ahead and start framing. Step number 8 is now going to be framing. So we came by one night and saw that the first floor was pretty much framed, and this is about 7 days after they poured the foundation, since the foundation needs about 7 days, give or take, to cure, harden, and make sure it's strong enough. Now fast forward about 4 or 5 days later, they started framing the second floor of the home. Here we're in the garage, and now we're just going to go ahead and take it upstairs so you can kind of see what that looks like. Now we're upstairs. It doesn't look like much, but it's definitely really exciting to see that they're starting to work on the second floor and getting that framed. Now that the upstairs and downstairs is framed, they are now installing the roof trusses, and you can also see that they finally have house wrap around the house as well to protect it from elements. Now the trusses are installed, and now you can really see the home kind of take shape, and you can get a good feel of what it's going to look like. Now right now we are in the pre-drywall phase, and so now we're going to move on to step number 9. A lot happens in step number 9 and in the pre-drywall phase. That's where the windows and doors are going to be installed. You're going to have the plumbers come in and run the plumbing lines. You'll have your gas lines run if your home comes with gas. You'll have your electrical run, your HVAC as well. Then you're also going to have your roof shingles installed and installation for the exterior walls as well. So a lot happens now in this step number 9 and pre-drywall phase, since you can't really go back and fix stuff after you put the drywall up, or else it's going to be super expensive and you're going to be cutting into lots of drywall. So here we've just gotten out of a meeting with the construction manager here in the community, and he basically took us through the entire home, showed us what had been done. All the insulation has been installed on the exterior walls. The fireplace has now been installed. The HVAC has also been installed. The duct work, the returns and exchanges, electrical lines have been run. Plumbing lines have been run. The roof has officially been installed, and the shingles have been installed as well. And during our meeting with the construction manager, he also went over what was to come next and if we were on schedule. And we were actually a little bit ahead of schedule. And so what's going to happen next is going to be the drywall phase. So right now the home is in the pre-drywall phase, but as you can see behind me, we have drywall, and it's going to start being drywalled within the next couple of days. So before it gets all covered up, I'm going to show you where the plumbing is, different outlets, and what everything is. So right now we're in there, the great room. Then you got your kitchen right over here. So first we're gonna go ahead and start in this flex room. They call it flex room. It can be used as a office, basically whatever you want. So you got nice windows here, 3 windows, but you can see you have your conduits for your outlets. So I misspoke there, and what I meant to say is the receptacle box. Another one, actually I believe this is going to be a switch. More outlets here. You got the electrical going and running to all those outlets. And right here is plumbing for an outside spigot or hose bib. And then, so you can't see it right now since you got insulation, but you're gonna have your gas line coming in right here. Here is your gas line. This is where it comes in from the gas meter into the house. So you have it here, and then it goes all the way up into the ceiling. And right here we have the 220 cord for the double oven. As you can see, it's written here, double oven. So you have a microwave, nice double oven right here. So that's where that goes. Fridge is also gonna go right here. You can see a water line to hook your fridge up so you can have ice. So kitchen sink, kitchen cooktop, your refrigerator goes here, and then your double oven and microwave are gonna go right here as well. So one thing that we always recommend to our clients is having independent inspections done during the construction process, especially before drywall, when you can see all the framing and 2x4s, the plumbing, electrical, all that. Make sure that you have an independent inspection done, because it's always good to have that third party come in and take a look. Yes, the builder, they will have their own inspection, but again, it's always very helpful and peace of mind to have your own inspection. And then you also want to have another inspection a little bit before closing, once pretty much everything is installed, the appliances, oven, microwave, range, whatever options you've decided on. Go ahead and schedule a inspection so they can test everything, the plumbing, the water, all of that, because there are problems that can happen and arise during this process, and it's super nice to have that third-party inspector come in and point them out, because the builder might not catch them. We're all human and we all miss stuff occasionally. So again, they can easily come in and point this stuff out as a extra set of eyes. Think of it that way, an extra set of eyes and peace of mind.
So as you can see, the home has now been completely drywalled. It's been installed. This is about a week later. So now we're going into step number 10, and there's a lot that happens in step number 10. That's going to be your appliances are going to be installed. They're going to install the kitchen cabinets, the countertops, the actual counter itself, the appliances like your microwave, your oven, the cooktop in this instance. Things are then going to get hooked up as well, like the gas, electricity, AC, heat, and just utilities in general. Your flooring and your carpet is also going to get installed. So again, there's just a ton that happens in step number 10.
So you can see we have a broken window here. The first pane is nice and shattered. You can see it here. But that's what happens in construction. Things will break. The nice thing is Pulte will go ahead and replace that. The clients will not have to pay for it since the contractor is broken. But things like this happen all the time in construction. So that is one of the last things they will do, is replace this window. Because why replace this broken window with a brand new one for someone just to come by and hit it with a 2x4 by accident? So it's been about 2 weeks since we've been here last, and a lot's been done. And one of the biggest things is gonna be, we finally have power. Everything has now been wired in, and we got lighting, all of that. So we are about 2 to 3 weeks away from closing. So as you can see, the kitchen, we got the great room, flooring has been installed, fireplace installed, looking pretty good. Still pretty echoey, but almost all the appliances down here have been installed. You got your cooktop, you got your hood, fridge goes there, and then you've got your microwave, and you've got your oven right here. Countertops have also been installed. Sink has been installed as well. The nice thing is they have this like film saran wrap or whatever, not saran wrap, but to protect the countertop. You got your dishwasher that's been installed. The carpet has also been installed. You got your railings, and the whole upstairs has been carpeted. It's really looking like a home now. Now it's still a little dirty and dusty since they're putting the finishing touches on, but the nice thing is it will all be cleaned, professionally cleaned before closing. Because who wants to buy a dirty, dusty house?
So a lot has happened since drywall, since they installed the drywall. As you can see, carpet's been installed, the flooring's been installed, the kitchen is looking pretty good. Everything is mostly installed there, pretty much ready to go. Bathrooms and cabinets have been installed. The sinks have been installed as well. So just so much has happened since the drywall phase, and they move pretty fast within about a 2 to 3 week span. So then we're going to move on to step 11, and step number 11 is going to be like your punch list items. That's where the builder's just going to go through, finish up the last remaining things. They're going to clean the house multiple times, since it's dirty. They're going to fix anything that needs to be fixed. You're also going to have an independent inspection done. We always recommend having another independent inspection done just a couple weeks before closing, and that's what this client decided to do. Then you're also going to go through the home, or at least the construction manager is going to go through the home, and they're going to put blue tape over all the little imperfections that they see in, say, the drywall, or any dents or dings in the cabinets or baseboards. So that's just a brief overview of what's happened in the last 2 weeks. And again, we are 2 to 3 weeks away from closing.
It's July 21st and we are less than a week away from closing, and there are still a few things that need to happen. As you can see behind me, we have all this blue tape on the walls and the cabinets, and that's basically to mark little imperfections, dents, dings, what have you, things that need to be fixed right before closing, since we close next Friday on the 26th. So we went through with the clients and we just marked up the walls with the blue tape throughout the entire house. So the builder then is going to go through, paint, fix whatever they need to fix right before closing. And so one of the things that needs to be done before closing is this hood is not hooked up to the piping that vents outside. So again, that's going to be installed before closing. You have the little, like you call like chimney cover to cover the piping so it looks nice and clean. Now, a thing to remember and to kind of reassure everyone is just because you have these little imperfections in the drywall, little dings, dents in the baseboards, think about it this way, it's completely natural in new construction because this house was a construction zone. You had people bringing in 2x4s, the flooring was installed. I mean, you're gonna get dents and dings in your baseboard because people are swinging hammers, locking this LVP into place. So it's just a natural thing and part of construction. And if you've bought in a house before, your house had this done before it closed. And so now we're out in the garage, and as we've shown you guys earlier, this window was broken at one point because think about it, it's a construction zone. People are hauling stuff, 2x4s. You accidentally throw something, it breaks the window, natural thing. But as you can see, it's been replaced. So that's the nice thing with the new construction is it's been replaced at the end because it doesn't make any sense to replace it right away when it's still under construction. Another thing is the water heater right now. So there were some issues with the water heater. It's actually, you can see it's not even hooked up right now. You still get water, it's just not hot water, it's nice cold. And since there's an apparent issue with the water heater, since it's actually not hooked up, it was hooked up, now it's not. So we had an independent inspection done just over a week ago, and the inspector, that he needed the water on to test everything, sinks, tubs, and to make sure everything was draining correctly, that there were no leaks or anything like that, especially around like the sinks and the toilets, since those things can get leaks. So he tried to test the sink and then nothing, no water was on, even though we were reassured that, hey, water is on, so no big deal. So the construction manager, he turns on the water at the pit. Then we walk into the house, but we're not really getting any water, making sure all the water's on at the toilets and under the sinks. It was, but for whatever reason, the water wasn't working. So these type of things happen. The nice thing is they called the plumber out. They seemingly got it fixed, but apparently not completely because the water heater is unhooked less than a week from closing. But again, that's not something to stress about because the builder will get it fixed. And that's just a natural part of construction. You think something's gonna work, you hook it up right, and then it doesn't work. And it could be something as simple as, oh, I just need to turn this knob under the sink, or it could be something much different too. And so you guys can see this home is practically done. Just a few finishing touches here and there, obviously. Water heater needs to get fixed or replaced. Builder's gonna take care of that because they can't close on a house that doesn't have hot water. And so we are almost at the finish line. Just these last few touches and fixes that need to happen before the clients close this upcoming Friday.
It is Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. We have just completed our final walkthrough before closing. As you can see, most of the blue tape has been removed from the walls, indicating that all those little touch-ups for paint and drywall have been completed. Just a few things that need to be touched up on the cabinets, and that will be done today. As you can see, the hood has now been installed. The inspector for the city of Noblesville was just here testing out the electrical and the plumbing. We passed with flying colors, so we're good to go. So now we're on the home stretch, just waiting for closing on Friday.
So it is Friday, July 26th, and it's supposed to be the day of closing, but closing got pushed to Monday.
During the final underwriting process, the lenders determined that their financial situation changed for the better, so the client's interest rate is going to be lowered. That being said, the settlement statement has to be changed. Well, by law, the settlement statement has to be presented at least 3 days before closing. So unfortunately, that window made the closing pushed back until Monday.
And so if you remember, there was an issue with the water in the hot water heater. They weren't getting any hot water in the home. So what had happened was the hot water line itself was actually capped. So they finally figured it out. It took them a little bit. It was something simple but hard to find and figure out because you got to rule out everything else. But it's now finally working. It's installed. They have hot water. So now that we are at the very, very home stretch, we've done the final walkthrough. We want to show you what the home actually looks like even after the final walkthrough with all the blue tape gone. The home has been cleaned at least 2 or 3 times now. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the final finished product. So we walk in here through the foyer. You have your flex space, your flex room. And coming through here, you have your half bath. You got a closet right here. And then coming off to the left, you have another nice closet. Walking into the open concept kitchen and living room or family room, whatever you'd like to call it. Great room. You have your fireplace here and lots of nice natural light. Your kitchen, very nice big island. You can see all the blue tape is now gone. All the imperfections are fixed. The hood has been installed, finally. Got your sink, dishwasher, cooktop for your fridge, microwave and oven here. Then you got your pantry. Then walking into the mudroom, massive mudroom. And then you've got your garage out here. Turn here, you got some really nice storage space. And going up the stairs to show you guys the upstairs. And it's all been nice and vacuumed with the nice vacuum lines. Reminds me of mowing. So you have your nice loft with tons of nice light. Got your appliances, your heater or your HVAC system. Then you have, this is technically the 4th room. You got your 3rd room, your 2nd room, and then you have a full bath here. And so an interesting thing with this full bath, this fan has a dehumidifier built into it. So it's gonna be running a lot to really keep your upstairs cool and not humid at all. So coming out of that full bath, we turn right, we go down the little hall, and then you have your laundry room, the sink. Then we walk into the master bedroom closet. Nice and big, again, nice natural light. And then you walk into your master bedroom. Then they have this nice, huge shower. It's massive.
The 4th and final step of the new construction process is going to be closing on your home. And we were able to close that Monday. Everything went great and the clients are very, very happy with their new home.
So that's what it looks like to have a home built. And of course, this is the Westmore neighborhood in Noblesville, Indiana by Pulte. So this is, again, the Westchester. It's their biggest model that they have. Beautiful home, but you've seen what it looks like from the foundation to framing the downstairs, the upstairs, putting in all the plumbing, electrical, and some issues that came up, but were luckily resolved. And so that's what a production build looks like, since Pulte is just a regular production builder. They don't really do custom builds. But this is the final finished product.
So that is the new construction process from start to finish, from the sales office all the way through the construction meetings, through the foundation, framing, and all the way to closing. You are now in your new home. And a shameless plug, if you like this home behind us, it's available. And remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days and 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.